Hello, Internet.
Yes, Miracle liked it because Miracle's like, goddamn, shut it.
This is Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9003. I am your host, Sneaky Devil. I started the pre-game podcast fucking like 14 minutes ahead of time because I am just the goddamn smartest individual in these lands. And I am here to bring to you, of course, as always, randomly selected fanfiction from the top of the fanfiction page.
AKA pain and suffering.
Yeah, pain and suffering, yes, pretty much. You know what says pain and suffering more than anything else?
Oh god.
A Dark
This
Souls
podcast
worm
is
crossover.
I would like not knowing, honestly.
Dark Souls worm crossover. Hey, Basolus, I appreciate your continued efforts to give me money.
You know, that's probably the thing I appreciate most about being on a stream with Sneaky. I never have to worry about, like, feeling bad, about, like, manipulating the audience or shilling. We're just gonna be like, give us money. The end.
Yeah, as I said in
Yeah,
my
Mark.
news chat, I will unabashedly move forward with crude humor and just blatant statements.
Well, I was gonna say, that's the other thing, right? Like, I'm never gonna get a thing where I wake up
Hello,
one
Shadow.
day and I see Sneaky has been in Twitch chat berating the viewers. Hey, you all need to donate. Hey, and mean it seriously.
Y'all should give me some money.
If everyone in here donated just one sub, I wouldn't have to worry about my day job.
Okay, now I'm not saying don't do that, but what I am saying is if somebody paid me enough money to not worry about my day job anymore, I might actually not be a depressed piece of shit anymore.
Okay,
Definitely
but
not.
that's no reason for them to give you money because they have their own day jobs to worry about.
Exactly.
No.
There is an issue there. Unless Arn parts with his black gold money.
Nah. Fuck off.
That's what I thought. We'll
just
just have
long
to
enough.
invade Norway. Take it the hard way.
Good luck.
No, Sneaky, we don't have to invade anywhere. Think about it. We can just take it from Saudi Arabia right now because they're so desperate to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Depressed
sounds
piece
free.
of shit means better content. Yeah. While that is true, that depressive individuals do produce funnier content, I will say it is definitely making me unable to
Isley,
write.
Isley, we're talking about oil.
Yes. Just ignore Isley. Just ignore Isley.
Fucking Iceland, man.
Just ignore Isley. Just do what I have done for the past 2 years and ignore everything Isley says.
I'm already doing that, so sure.
Unless we specifically reference Isley for a timestamp.
Exactly. So this is a Dark Souls worm crossover I have brought to you all today. Showed up on the front page of Worm, and I was curious because
Why?
What, to see what garbage looks like?
More or
we do
less.
that all the time on here.
Yes. Well, so the thing is that the last 2 Dark Souls worm stories I read were actually pretty good. Gray even wrote one. It's
Princess?
yes.
Oh god.
That's on hiatus for indefinitely.
Yes. A lot of stories are on hiatus indefinitely in this group of writers.
I don't like to talk about it.
To talk about it because Max won't talk about it.
But anyway. So I clicked on it, and just everything about this is just immediate red flags. There was only red flag. There was so much red flag, I couldn't even figure out if they were individual flags or one large red flag.
What's that
Oh, yeah,
stupid line
red
again? Oh
flag
yeah, when you're
first
looking
on
at something through
1917,
rose-colored
fuck.
glasses, all the flags seem red.
That's a pretty good line. Okay. So anyway, this is Moth to a Flame. Too bad we don't have Moth here.
Next, just get down.
Yes, indeed. Twin souls across time and space, first red flag. United in a single moment of overflowing humanity. Second red flag? What the fuck
Oh,
does that mean?
Oh no.
Well,
No,
it
no,
is
no.
fucking Soviet
Listen,
Russia.
the only thing overflowing humanity does is give Mattis a new play pit.
The soul of Manus grows stronger.
No, listen, if Taylor suddenly had to ride shotgun to Manus, I would read that.
A warrior has been reborn, both more and less than she once was. The warlord of Brockton Bay has come to make her mark on a new realm. Third red flag, aka fourth red flag, Taylor makes a soul level 1 zero death run, fifth level red flag, and becomes best friends with the Duke's dear Freya. Sixth
Motherfucking
level flag.
spider.
Sixth flag, right? Seventh flag, first chapter is 1,000 words long.
Thank fuck.
Eighth flag,
That's a
it's
good
rated
thing,
T.
honestly. I guess mature, but they don't want to get fewer views. Essentially.
Ninth flag, the entire first part's just a fucking flashback.
Not even flashback. That's just like fucking intro narration.
Long ago. Sorry, hold on. Let me get my tube. This is my narration tube.
Oh god.
Oh, is that what you call it these days?
Yes!
It was a piece of. I thought it was a paper towel roll that I forgot to throw out.
No, it's actually a really thick delivery tube that I forgot to throw out.
What is it? I want to be annoyed with you, bud.
What's wrong with this story
Fucking
being
waste.
rated T? Well, it's a worm story and it's a Dark Souls story. Neither games are T.
Wait, the worm game?
Well, neither
Fuck did I miss?
series are T. Also, yes,
Yeah.
there is a worm game
Oh god.
called
No.
Worm Dice. It's
No,
garbage.
thanks.
Well, of
Yeah.
course it's garbage. It's like there's a Final Fantasy tabletop made by a bunch of fucking nerds. It's garbage.
It's like a Warhammer Deadpool crossover being rated E. It doesn't work.
Counterpoint: Warhammer for kids.
Warhammer for Kids is an abomination. They tried including diversity
Oh no.
in the main cast, and they have an Imperial Commissar working with a Tau and an Eldar.
I mean, that has
I'm sorry, what?
occasionally happened.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I am not joking.
Like I barely know Warhammer, but I know one thing: everyone's racist, which makes it fucking great.
Actually, no. Ironically enough, the Tau are the only ones that, technically speaking, aren't racist. By the way, Sneaky, I looked into it.
They're the space commies.
They are.
By the way,
fucking-
Sneaky, the whole
Ew. Disgusting.
sterilization thing was
Yes.
only from what's it? The end of what's the RTS? Jesus, I can't remember its name.
Dawn of War.
Yeah, that was only from the Dawn of War ending, and Dawn of War is not canon.
Okay.
And in fact, we know that the opposite is true because there are humans working for the Tau who are the children of planets that were brought in during the Damocles Gulf Crusade.
Oh, okay. Still, fuck the Tau.
I mean,
Don't fuck.
yes,
Wait, no, wait. Don't.
That
fuck
is
the
the problem.
Tau.
Exactly. Do not. They're filthy Xeno scum.
Let's be honest. You could probably make a 40k Deadpool E-rated fic, of course, if it's only crack. I mean, you would be avoiding the best
No.
parts of Deadpool and 40k to do it.
Yeah.
That's like making a fucking Call of Duty racing game.
Duty racing. Oh,
Really,
I'm
for
sure that-
everyone.
I'm sure that exists somewhere.
I'm sure it probably will. I'm sure Activision is taking notes.
Yeah.
Call me
kinda
Activision.
Anyway.
Not even that. Fan games are a thing. People make fan games.
Long ago, in the earliest days of this kingdom's history, a great and terrible mistake
Also,
was made.
not to like, as someone who actually enjoys Dark Souls 2, why would you pick Dark Souls 2 of all games?
I don't know, man. Dark Souls 2 is fan fiction. It's like picking Boruto when you're writing a Naruto fan fiction. It's like, what the fuck are you
Like-
doing?
Dark Souls 2 is a good game, but it is widely regarded as the worst of the Dark Souls trilogy for storytelling. Also,
Game mechanics.
man in armor boss fights around every corner.
I like those. Hey, no one was complaining about it when we got one in Sekiro.
I had fun in Mirror Knight.
Okay, but the Sekiro man in armor boss fight was actually really amazing. Fuck off.
It was also very clever.
Jokes aside, that was a fantastic boss fight. My big complaint about the Mirror Knight is much like Eyes of the Gravelord, they didn't enable the thing that made it useful until the game was in New Game Plus. And it's like, but that's a really neat mechanic, and you could have just done NPC invasions because you were doing that already.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just, personally think that Dark Souls 1.
For those of us who don't know what we're talking about, the Mirror Knight's a boss in Dark Souls 2 where he has a big old mirror shield that pulls out evil clones, reflections. I don't know what the hell they are.
Sometimes it pulls out other
We'll go with
players.
Souls.
I'm just saying, Dark Souls 3 automatically wins no matter what category you're working in, because I'm a fire and Malazor!
Thing is
Doesn't matter that it's the worst fucking spell in the game. It's great. Like, the Corona discs are even more useful than that goddamn Soul Beam.
No,
but-
they aren't. No, they aren't.
Coronavirus disc.
Because here's the problem: Corona Disc is just as easy to dodge, but it doesn't do any damage.
That's fair, I suppose.
At least if they have a bad dodge, you can get them, right? That will get them.
I also wholeheartedly approve of the Pyromancer run at you build, where you just equip what was that, purifying flame or whatever the fuck it was called, and you just run at someone and grab their face.
That
Oh,
one's so
the-
dumb.
Are we talking about the Dark Souls 3 spell that vindicated you on something we did in our story?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were so hyped, just like, Max, I did that. It's like, yes, Sneaky, I know you did that. Calm down.
Because I was just like, it would make sense you'd be able to inject your flame into someone and then burn them from the inside out.
And serious question for you, because, like, did he have you guys stop your playthrough long enough to fucking annoy me on private messaging when he
Yes.
found that?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Excuse me.
Just, like,
Yes.
he was freaking
I
out,
wouldn't
like,
shut the fuck up about it to Atin either.
I was like, oh my god, I didn't write this. Literally, what I said was, oh my god, I didn't write the story with you. Go tell Max. And he was like, oh my god, yes. And then he just left me in Firelink for, I don't know, 20 minutes.
It was something like 20 minutes, yeah.
about that, yeah. He was just bombarding me with, I found the thing.
Ping,
I
ping,
found-
ping, 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 ping.
It was so dumb.
Dumb for you. As writers, that is the best thing that can happen, is when we predict actual things in other games.
What? Yes, a fic with, yes, we pinged you Nexus because there is a fic with your name in it saying Moth to Flame. Hello, Pedro. Anyway. A great and terrible mistake was made. A foul serpent, masterful in the art of deception, tempted... Wait, what the fuck? Tempted an innocent people.
Sure.
The
Whatever
fuck?
you say.
To delve deep into the abyss. Here.
What? Is this some Minds of Moria Greed stuff?
Yes.
I mean, he's basically just retelling what happened at Ulasil, but with
Yeah,
much.
it's literally just,
growth.
okay, yeah, you know what, it is literally just Ulasil, blah, 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 Ulasil, blah, 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 blah. Fear the dark soul within every man. Blah blah, terrible cost.
The
Actually,
man made of darkness is bad. The end.
actually, the whole thing with the dark soul is that it exceeded the gods without the terrible cost. The terrible cost was Gwyn sealing them. Like the whole undead curse thing was caused from Gwyn's seal, not from the dark soul.
That was something that we found out afterwards, that, oh, Gwen might have been the reason for this happening. When was this published?
Might have been a terrible person.
Recently,
Oh.
approximately 10 days ago.
Yeah, okay, no, we've had the theory for some time now that, like, oh, Gwen was a cunt. To no one's surprise.
Wow, Gwyn was a cunt. Nobody is shocked by this. Anyway, Gwyn sent his most faithful knight, Artorius, to bring an end to the Father of the Abyss. Did they? No, I'm pretty sure they didn't even know what the fuck was going on in Ulasil.
From what
They knew it was something terrible, and they knew it had to do with darkness. I don't think they knew it was Manus.
Yeah, no, they didn't. I don't think they knew it was Manus, and I think Artorius went of his own volition, like, yo, Gwen, I'm gonna go check that out.
Yeah. Because what happened was Artorius went, and the other three knights followed him out of loyalty to, being his friend.
Again, one of the big problems with Dark Souls, a lot of theories flying around trying to figure out which one makes the most sense. It's hard.
Yeah.
We know they followed him, but we don't know if they followed him after the fact. When it's like, hey, he's been gone for like 3 days. He should have been back by now. Or we followed him and he told us to stick around here while he investigated further. The implication seems to be they came after the fact.
Well, it would only make sense they came after the fact, because why would Artorius go and scout if they have Siarn?
Because she's a master in assassination, not necessarily scouting.
Yeah.
Okay, but if
Assassination implies stealth, though. Otherwise, you're just murdering them.
Sneaky, you exist as the walking counterpoint to that statement.
Your entire playstyle in Splinter Cell speaks otherwise, sir.
Charge into Outpost, riding an elephant, wielding an RPG. Outpost taken successfully. Stealth bonus, 100%.
It counts as stealth if there's nobody there to witness it.
They're all dead. Still stealth.
Go play Far Cry 4 again now in co-op. Not 5. 5 has lost its 5 lost its chance.
4 was funny. Yeah. It's also the last Ubisoft game to actually have sniper rifles that are sniper rifles.
Wait. Oh yeah, that's right. The sniper rifles did have proper drop in them, didn't they? In 4.
Not only did they have proper drop in them, they had proper range in them too, and you can hit people like 500 meters away. And then in their newer games, the sniper rifle's range has been reduced to 60 meters.
That's kind of weird.
Whack.
60 meters?
Yes, 60 meters.
I think the actual assault rifle would go farther.
That one has 30 meters.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, so they nerfed that in concert.
Literally everything has microscopic range. It is the most baffling thing ever, because one of the biggest points of Wildlands was that you could do it your way and you could sneak in and snipe them from far away. Except you can't do that. You can't sneak around and snipe.
That started with 3. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Ghost Recon Wildlands, yes. Except you couldn't do that because in Wildlands, the sniper rifle's range was literally basically point blank as far as sniper rifles go. And it was just like, What's the fucking point of getting on top of the mountain if you can't actually shoot from the fucking mountain?
I've made it to the top of the mountain. Oh, my sniper rifle goes 50 feet.
Yeah. It was the dumbest shit in existence.
That's one of the reasons why I like Battlefield so much, because you can actually snipe in those games.
Well, yeah, Battlefield 3 is the only one I actually have experience with. I never really played. I played 4 for like 2 days. But
Yeah.
and Battlefield 3 was great because they actually had, and Max, I don't know if you own a shotgun or not, if I've ever fired one, but they actually had realistic shotguns in
Yeah.
which that the slug does in fact travel very fucking far.
Same in
yeah.
Battlefield 4, at least.
Yeah,
That
there's
was the reasons I love PlanetSide 2, because the slug was an actual thing that went super far. So if you could figure out exactly what the fall off was, you could just dome people from halfway across the map with it. It was beautiful.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, you could mount like a 16x.
yeah,
on a
drop a
shotgun.
16 scope on that
in
thing,
Battlefield 4.
pop up with the slug, and just become a god. And that was actually a thing you could do in real life. I mean, obviously, it's a lot less effective in real life because you only have one life to live. You kind of don't want to be fucking going into a battlefield with a slug.
You
Oh,
don't want to be
shit.
going in as a meme lord.
Oh, I mean, slugs have their use on a battlefield. Like,
Oh,
I need to punch
I didn't say they don't. I'm just saying,
I mean,
if you're going into a battlefield and if you die forever. Period. I would take the sniper rifle, the weapon specifically made for long range, over the slug with a 16 scope on it.
Yeah, shotgun accuracy also drops off a lot, even if you're using slugs at range. So,
Yeah. The
that's pretty terrible.
shotguns are fun, especially when you realize that it's not the shotgun that determines the kickback. It's whatever gauge you're using.
yeah,
I was skeet shooting when I was younger, and as a joke, the one dude in our group that did hunting decided to be like, "Hey, everyday man, dad, here, you want to try one of my high-powered deer slugs?" And it knocked him clear out the booth. He wasn't ready for the kickback.
I'm sorry, he gave it to who?
He gave it to a dude that like me. It was our first time firing guns. Well, yeah, firing guns. So we had been using normal 12 gauge slugs for skeet shooting because that's standard. The
right.
hunter brought his hunting slugs. Like, this slug is meant to punch through
Like,
deers.
are we talking like 8, 6, 4?
I don't remember the exact gauge. All I remember was that it was about 3 times more powerful than what the standard was for skeet shooting.
Probably gonna be like a 6 then.
Yeah,
So
something like that.
it's like, "You want to try it out?" And he does. And all the other men are smiling, and I'm like, "Dad, what's up?" And my dad just says, "Just hang on and watch." And he fires it, and
Yeah.
the kickback is so bad, the gun goes vertical into the air, and he stumbles out of the booth, nearly falling on his ass.
Yeah, but those slugs will drop most things they hit.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that is in fact the intended function.
For making a fucking big asshole in it too.
Like what was it, a 2 gauge slug? Has about the equivalent kinetic energy of a 50 caliber. It's just like, yes, because that's
Yeah,
what
that
you
makes me
need to
fucking
fire.
angry, though.
like, it was the most dickish thing he could have done.
I still remember the improvised homemade artillery we made. And I mean, like, artillery. I'm talking about, if anyone's ever fired artillery before, which I doubt this
Yeah.
group of people have. But what you have to be careful about is when the firing chamber kicks back. You drop the shell out. Because all the recoil's focused on that part. They didn't tell me that part. So I'm bracing it, and we fire this thing, and I go through a fucking window. Because we were on the porch, and I just get hit in the chest so hard, I go fucking flying back and crash through the glass window.
Sounds about right.
Did they not? Okay, hold on. Where was this? Why were you just shooting off a porch?
Pennsylvania?
Okay, so there were no actual human beings to get hurt.
We might have hit a fox or two accidentally.
Yeah, but there were no
Several
people.
casualties.
No,
There is.
no broken bones. I've actually never broken a
Going
bone.
scot-free.
Of
Exactly.
all the stupid shit I've done,
I would
have
say the
have not
proudest
broken a
part
bone.
of the proudest moment of my life was the fact that when I used 44 and 357 magnums,
Oh yeah.
I didn't hit myself in the face.
Oh, good. My proudest moment was definitely when I was firing the M1 Garand, and I did not
Break your
thumb
own
smash.
shoulder?
No, thumb smash.
Ah, yes.
That is a key point. I almost clipped my thumb one time when I was reloading, but no, I did not thumb smash my poor thumb.
Congrats.
But yeah, no, the being up in the Poconos, that was a good time. You could get away with a whole lot of shit there. I'll try and see if I can find that video one day. But we were firing fireworks off of the porch, and some of the people there were a little bit drunk, and someone forgot to let go of the firework
Ah, yes.
and
Interesting tactic.
threw the firework into the bed of the truck,
Jesus Christ.
filled with the fireworks.
Oh.
And
Interesting tactic.
you just see all of us just chucking these M80s and shit like off the porch, and we're having a good time. And then you just see one of us stumble up to the porch railing and just chuck it straight down as a spike. Two of us, me especially, look down and go, "Oh shit!" Just fucking dive backwards as the whole truck bed goes up.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah. You fucking moron.
There's also a video floating around of we were firing Roman candles off, and then one of them doesn't go off, and we're sitting there like, what the fuck? So we get the bright idea to go over and
Look
Poke-
down the tube.
poke down the tube.
Hmm.
And so I'm sitting there, and as we're getting closer, because I'm holding the video camera, I stop and I go, "Guys, maybe we shouldn't get closer to this one." Like, no, it's fine, it's a dud, it didn't go off. I'm sitting there in the dark, it's like 1 a.m., you can see the figures moving towards this clearing, and then all of a sudden you hear, "Fuck!" Boom! And the clearing lights up as the Roman candle explodes and its entire ammo load just goes off in the ground.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Oh boy.
Oh, we had lots of good times up there. Lots of illegal times, and lots of good times.
Same thing.
Yes, the saw does in fact have a backwards kickback. But anyway, yeah, back to this Dark Souls moth worm story of literally just recounting canon.
If I may, real quick,
Why? Yeah.
somebody give me any area in a Dark Souls game.
I don't know. White Town?
No, Sneaky. We don't want to give him Blighttown. What if it's you spend the rest of your life there?
It would be a short life.
I can work with Blighttown, yes.
Okay.
I mean, I was gonna say someplace pleasant like Anne Orlando.
Oh no.
She yeeted herself off the cliff of Firelink. So, falling through Blighttown.
Hits the giant water wheel propeller. Ow! 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 Ow!
Let's work on some princess while listening to this hellhole.
Okay, you do that, Gray. I'm glad someone's inspired to write. So anyway, time for the part where we all commit ritual suicide. So yeah, blah blah blah, abyss, menace, dark desires, blah blah blah, bonded to the sovereigns and ensorcelled them, age of darkness, some fucking prosy bullshit. In another kingdom, across the strange currents of time, in a land befrit of flame, yet void of the curse its absence brings.
The flame had nothing to do with the curse, unless you consider time in and of itself to be a curse, in which case you are in fact an archdragon and I want to cut your tail off.
Archdragon detected. A young warrior constantly stood upon the precipice of losing herself to her own humanity. That's not exactly the words I would use to describe Taylor. Oh, the dark roiled within her, a true child of Manus. Such boundless obsession, violence, and wickedness. Except that's not how the dark worked at all.
Of course, it's how the dark worked, because this author said it is.
Yeah, I know. Is this a fucking worm crossover? Yes. But speaking of, so the dark is different from the abyss, as Max and I were able to discern at minimum. Because, you know, for example, the Ring City, everyone there wasn't crazy for quite a long time.
Actually, no one there was crazy. I mean, I guess the preachers were crazy, but they're not really people.
No, they're not people, no. Yeah. But, like, for a very long time, like, the Ring City was filled with dark souls that managed to build up a whole civilization and live in peace for basically near the end of time. From the beginning of time to nearly the end of time, they had built a peaceful city.
They literally achieved what Gwyn couldn't.
Yes. And they all had dark souls.
Yeah.
And they were ruled by furtive pygmies. So
I'll be back in a bit.
Well, kind of. We don't know how awake or not awake what's-her-face was for the majority of that. But there was at least some kind of pygmy council.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is they were ruled by pygmies.
Yeah.
Philionora has nothing to do with
it went mad,
City.
apparently.
Yeah.
And that woman you talked to, for Spears of the Church or whatever, goes in, basically impales it, and now and that's why they have a council instead of a king.
Do Gale and Manus have similar souls?
No.
So basically, as a human, it just got mixed in with a whole lot of darkness.
Well, no, Gale's soul is.
Oh, it was his blood that became the dark soul. Oh, his soul was still a soul.
Yeah, his soul was still a soul.
That was glorious.
Oh, gee. Gray, Atin and I had probably the greatest fight ever when it comes to fighting him. Because I was literally standing there, because he would keep going for Atin. And every time he turned towards Atin, I go like, hey, Fatto! Hey, shitbrain! And he would keep turning back towards me, and we're just like, why is this working?
Which boss was this?
Gale.
Gale. Because I had no HP. I had like 2 HP left, and no healing, and no magic, and like literally everything was out.
Well, no, so let's be clear. He had Tears of Denial, a bunch of FP, and I think it was what was the HP restoring ring?
It was whatever the HP restoring ring.
Sunlight or something?
The Ring of Sunlight or whatever.
Ring of Sunlight,
So
yeah.
he would use Tears of Denial, which as long as you have more than 1 HP, you survive a hit that would kill you.
I love Tears of Denial. That's great.
And then because he has a ring that regenerates his HP, he always has more than 1 HP.
But I would distract Gale because we tried so hard fighting him, and we got down to
The normal way.
Because remember what happened is we ran out of mana because we spammed bloodlet on him.
Well, yeah, we started spamming blood because we were on New Game 6 and New Game 7.
Yeah, and
New Game 8, no people.
And so we had basically no HP left. Atin had a little bit more HP than me, so I basically would shout at Gale a bunch, and he would walk towards me, and then Atin would run up and hit him, and then run away, and then Gale would turn towards Atin, and then I would shout at him again, and he would turn towards me. I don't know why shouting at him made him turn towards me, but it did.
This was like using like the shout emote. No, this was just Sneaky yelling at his computer.
Yeah, I was literally just on Discord shouting into my mic. And I don't know why that worked.
Yeah, my time was literally I was just sword and board. I didn't use any mana. I used no Estus. I just went up and smacked them.
Yeah, no, we Arn drinks 40% for the first time, realizes 40% burns.
Yeah. Fucking Christ, dude.
Your tongue is so sharp it cuts into fictional beings. Yes. Apparently, yes. Also, apparently the director is a girl and wholeheartedly responds to flattery.
She
Also doesn't like
responds
being
to-
called a man, as Max learned.
Also doesn't like being called a bitch,
No.
as I also learned.
Where do you get that the director is a girl from? It might be a guy. Death charge.
Okay, maybe there's something. She's kind of a bitch. Immediate tank. Oh, okay, that's what we're doing.
Hey, director, no, it'd be
So that's
great.
how we're playing this game.
A tank and a witch at the same time. Sneaky, no. Turns corner, tank and witch. Fucking goddamn. Oh, those are the days, alright. But yeah, despite my ability to apparently talk to AI, we had a good fight. We were not prepared for the Gale fight, though. We walked in, we're like, oh, it's Gale. Fucking just leaps at us, instantly dead. We're like, ah. So that's how this fight's gonna go.
Ah, it's Gale.
All right then.
Loved his
Oh.
third phase. It was so great.
Gale was the moment.
Yeah, they did an amazing job with the phases, honestly.
Yeah, Gale was the moment where Miyazaki finally gave up pretending like he wasn't just aping guts from Berserk.
Oh
Dark
god,
Souls
that
series, Dark Souls series where he stopped like pretending full-heartedly. Bloodborne was where he was like, okay, I can share a little bit of it with you because one of the symbols in the fishing village was just straight up the Berserk thing.
Mhm.
And then we get Gale in that boss fight.
Oh my god, the whole boss fight, all the construction around the boss fight was just amazing. Like, oh, you finally beat him, and he's limping on the ground, and he's bleeding, and he starts bleeding on the sword, and you're like, oh,
Well, no, you get him to half health.
oh no, Oh, why is he bleeding on the sword? Why is this cinematic? Oh, wait a second. Oh, he's standing up. Oh.
What that scene for me and my friends was like, oh no, he's doing the Ludwig thing. Oh god, no.
He's doing the thing. Oh, they also had that hidden super sad moment in the desert where you
One
can,
of you were
where if you go back to the church in the desert, and Shield Spear Girl is waiting for you there.
Oh, she's so mad at you.
Oh my god, that was a literal cry moment of like, I didn't mean for this to happen.
Yeah.
Touch something! In every other experience I've had, touching it was good!
Touching it rewarded me. Not this time.
But I mean, like, think about it. Every other time, the Ashen Undead touches a MacGuffin, and not only is it good, it's what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But then he touches, like, you couldn't put up a do not touch sign, Gwyn.
Would probably would have been a good idea. Like, hey, guys, don't.
Actually, for that matter,
Don't
why
touch
didn't Spirit Girl just say, like, by the way, when you meet her, don't touch anything?
Yeah.
Now, look, I know Judicator Argo goes, do not disturb her slumber, but that doesn't tell us anything.
No, it really doesn't. I mean,
That's just
disturbing the
offline.
slumber of people kind of has been the thing we're supposed to do the entire game. Which,
In
again,
fact, we're supposed to
this
find
is-
people that are sleeping, beat them up, and put them to permanent
like,
sleep.
this is why I love Dark Souls 3 so much, because the Ring City DLC played on so many. It was the what's the term for it? It was the trope
Subversion
breaker.
of expectations.
Yeah, subversion. Yeah, it was the subversion of so many of the themes they had you going for, because you were supposed to hunt down these people. You were supposed to touch things. You were supposed to, wake up or fight these slumbering lords. And then the Ring City is, don't touch these things. Stop waking up people.
Yeah. Also, as far as that, like, don't, like, disturb her slumbers, it's like, motherfucker, at that point in the game, I had the Slumbering Dragon Crest ring. I can't make noise if I wanted to.
yeah, through that. But oh my god, just fighting her like hurt so much. She's like, everyone's dead, and I was waiting here forever, and now it's just the two of us. So die
and
already.
the best part is, I will never forgive you, you creature of the dark.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, ow.
the person who did those lines nailed it.
Like, oh god, that was a moment of just painful. I have fucked up and genuinely fucked up. Yeah, that was good. It was good shit. I also did like how they tied Gil back in.
That's great. One of the best things about Gale being a boss was how awesome it was, right? Because you meet this weak punk ass dude who needs your help to save the day.
Well, I mean, he's not exactly weak. He's just, looking for people stronger than him. And not only that, it's you carved a path for him to get in. And it's like that the accumulation of the realization of just like everything you did in the Ring City basically cut a path for Gale to do what he did.
Well, not just the Ring City, but the way they do it, it's implied that everything you do in Dark Souls 3 is basically handing Gale a platter.
Yes.
Everything that you do from meeting him basically allowed him to get to the end and do the bad.
And it's just like, oh, wow, ooh, that hit a little bit closer to home than the original ending. I personally feel like the Ring City is the real ending, but Dark Souls 3.
I mean, it's implied to be the ultimate ending because I will be cold, dark, and very gentle place, blah blah blah.
And then Bloodborne happens. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, so anyway, apparently, even though nothing from the Dark Souls universe existed in Taylor's land, she was still part of the Dark Souls universe and was a big dick human and evil. Apparently. And she was called the Plague, and she was a sovereign. And
Man, if she was a sovereign, Coil was a sovereign.
I mean, we're not gonna touch that. The heavens visited the kingdom she called home, beings beyond the ken of humanity, beyond the scope of even the immortal dragons from the first age.
What?
Skulking about in the eddies of space in the void between voids, these incomprehensible entities plotted the destruction of her species. It was through no malice, but by cold logic unthinkable to any sane mind. The destruction of countless worlds to save countless more. Unthinkable to any sane mind. Okay, look. Most sane people would say, okay, so how many people are going to die if I do this? 2 trillion. Okay. And how many people are going to die if I don't do this? Literally reality. I see.
Interesting.
Now, I'm sure there's going to be sane minds out there that would be like, can we do other things first before sacrificing 2 trillion people in an attempt to not have reality get killed?
No.
But there is such things called a general. They are a position in the military, and they do make decisions that send soldiers to their deaths.
Yes, come on, let's go up from the trench, run into the German machine guns. That'll be a great idea.
You know, I'm not saying they're always good decisions, but the generals aren't insane. I'm not saying there's a difference between stupid and insane, okay?
Yeah, and I'm saying there's generals that fit both.
I mean, yes, German, but I'm just saying that sane minds are capable of cold logic.
I mean, for God's sake, look at literally everything Sherman did. The South can't fight if I destroy their infrastructure.
The South can't fight if I literally burn their population to death.
Well, yeah.
Yes, Sherman, you are technically correct on that one. However,
Not just technically, yes.
You are factually correct.
you need to fucking chill. There will be no looting, only burning.
Burn. Only burn. What? What?
Anyway, so, the author proceeds to get both lores completely incorrect, trying to create a new fusion lore out of them. And, obsessed with victory at any cost, she cast aside her own soul.
What? No, she didn't. Also,
No, she was desperate to save all of humanity. That's not an obsession.
I mean, I guess you could argue it is an obsession, but
Okay.
like,
Yeah, but no, like Dr. Mother is obsessed with saving humanity. That's an
yes.
obsession. Taylor was a soldier on the front lines being like, "Oh shit, we are losing literally across the board. Thousands of people are actively dying. What can I do to save everyone? Alright, time to basically Hail Mary. That's not obsession, that's desperation.
Like, let's be clear. Taylor is not a good person.
Mm-mm.
She does the wrong things
Very often.
for the right reasons.
She does the wrong things for the wrong reasons. Very few of Taylor's actions were ever done for the right reasons. Possibly the only action Taylor did in the story for the right reasons was fighting Lung because she thought he was gonna kill kids. Because literally all of her other actions were coming from a place of just arrogance, basically. I know better than them. I'm better than them. Just she had a lot of moral high ground that she invented for herself when dealing with heroes, when dealing with bullies, when dealing with the government, even when she was confronted in Arcadia and revealed to be Skitter and was arrested. She didn't give up because it was the right thing to do. She gave up because they got her. She didn't go on this whole redemption quest because it's the right thing to do. It's because it's what she's supposed to do. She wasn't approaching it for the right reason. She still did them, and she still did good things for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, then I guess it's the right thing for the wrong. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it was the right. I guess that's what I should have said. The right thing for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Everything Taylor did was wrong except for shooting Aster. Oh, yeah. I forgot. She also shoots babies.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. Good times.
Oh yeah, that was the thing, wasn't it?
No. Remember, she didn't shoot a baby. She shot a Nazi baby.
Oh, yeah. It makes it okay.
Hmm.
Is she part of Antifa now?
I'm not touching that one.
I mean, that would explain the amount of red flags in the story.
It's okay if Taylor also wasn't wrong in shooting Coyle. Oh, no, Isley, that's a hate crime.
Yeah, racism is alive and well.
Racism's still
It's
alive.
great, good times. Not complaining.
Let's see. Anyway, on the eve of her victory, pursuit of strength. She wasn't doing it because she wanted strength. Gifted with power beyond all reckoning, she slayed the entity in a war spanning billions of worlds, costing trillions of lives.
No, she was not
No.
gifted with power beyond all reckoning. She was gifted with a garbage dumpster tier power that happened to work because Earth is full of terrible things.
Well, no.
And then she...
When she jailbroke it, her range was 5 fucking feet. And she boosted
about
that.
To finish.
Yeah, okay, fine.
With when she jailbroke it, it got pretty much worse overall.
Yes. And then the only reason why her whole fucking jailbroke plan even worked was because she ended up taking over Doormaker and just extending that 5 feet infinitely. Coil was black, yes. Yeah, Wildbow, despite being a incredibly progressive individual, happened to make a black thief, a black drug dealer, a black drug dealing thief who kidnaps children. As some of the main villains.
Hey, don't forget, controls the child
650.
with those drugs. Let's be clear here, right?
Who injects children with drugs, yes.
Yeah,
Those were some of the main early villains.
Then it was Big Shiny Golden Man.
Oh, that's really stupid. I decided to look because I've never heard of Coil being black. I just looked at the source
Mm-hmm.
for that information.
Mm-hmm.
Wildbow owned Discord.
Yes. Yeah, not even in
I-
the story. It is literally a Discord quote from him.
I hate this so much. Wildbow is one of the best examples of why Word of God outside of like books is stupid.
Yes.
It's
Coil is black according to Wildbow because he tried making things more progressive when people were questioning him after his story was released because he didn't really go into the races and the sexes and the gender preferences and the pronouns of a lot of the characters, and
I
so
was gonna say
because
most of those were ignored.
yeah, but because he got a lot of attention from the progressives, who, as we all know, are very loud but very small in number, he started to pander to them just like J.K. Rowling did, and he started making people gay, he started making people trans, and he started making people black. But he didn't quite look at which characters, I guess you could call it, he was making gay, trans, and black. Because he made a very interesting selection of villains.
Oh, good news, guys. All the Japanese people being locked inside and not being able to go to work and kill themselves at work dropped their suicide rate by 20%.
That's interesting. I thought more people would kill themselves.
Well, it turns out when you aren't feeling like you have to work like 16-hour days, 7
Mhm.
days a week,
That's fair.
and you get some sleep, you start to go, maybe this isn't so bad.
That's fair. Did he name a black E88 member? No, he didn't. But I think there was another word of God making Ruin gay. Rune gay, yeah. I think that's floating around somewhere. And she hid it or something, according to him. So that's
Well,
a
I mean,
thing.
if your parents are a bunch of neo-Nazis, or your uncle or
another big brain tidbit from Wildbow is the ABB is composed of 50 people.
the what?
The Asian Bad Boys, a gang that
Is 50 people.
a gang that controls 1/3 of Brockton Bay, which has the approximate population of 320,000 people, is composed of 50 people. I know 3 street gangs with a larger member population than that. 3 streets.
How many of them were you in?
None.
Conscripted, by the way.
None. Thank you very much.
Oh, you managed to avoid the conscription.
Yes. Yeah, they waged war on the whole city. Yes. Yeah, I'm aware, Isley, that yes, Wildbow apparently thinks that despite running multiple brothels across the city, controlling about 1/3 of it from the PRT and police, and running multiple casinos as well. Because keep in mind, while only the Ruby Dreams was mentioned, it was mentioned in the context of multiple casinos. Only 50 people. Yep. Wildbow doesn't know shit about anything.
No shit.
Sounds about right.
Which it doesn't really come as a surprise, considering the fact that he apparently doesn't leave his home because he's agoraphobic. Or something like that. So, that would explain why he's a little bit crazy. And wrong about a lot of things. On the eve of her victory, her mind in tatters, decaying without the light of a nurturing soul. No, her mind was in tatters because her brain was rapidly destabilizing to space cancer. She
Also,
was...
the responsibility of taking care of literally thousands of individuals and making sure they remembered to breathe.
Yes. She
Like,
was.
can you imagine that? Can you imagine if she lost because she forgot to make Doorman breathe for 2 minutes?
It would be pretty funny. She was slain by those who secretly brought her to power. Secretly brought her to power. No. But
This
Cauldron
person does
didn't.
not understand anything.
Cauldron had nothing to do with anything that happened to Taylor until, like, near the end.
Contessa pot.
Also, straight shit, Contessa goes, "Should I shoot you?" And Taylor goes, "Shoot me." Like, that's not slain secretly by those who brought her to power. No, she literally was like, "No, shoot me. I don't know how much longer. I cannot kill everyone." Oh, God.
And let's not forget the potential follow up to kill me was shove me on an island somewhere. No, don't do that. I don't know what'll happen if you do that.
Isley, there's a theory that Contessa's power basically was working to bring Taylor to power since the beginning. Physically impossible. It can't map out powers. So that theory is just flat out wrong from the get-go. Because she cannot map out Endbringers, and she cannot map out powers. She was slain by blah 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 blah. And yet, in the final act, she lit a fire. A dark imitation of the first flame, so the profane flame, by forcefully linking the flickers of humanity across all worlds. What?
I actually would have just been less mad if a doorway shoved her there.
Powers in general? Yes, literally powers in general. She is unable to predict powers, and she's unable to map around powers until they show up. And then once they show up, she can start to learn how to map around them, but she can't map around them second triggering. She can't map around them causing other people to trigger, and she can't map around the Endbringers. So they literally couldn't have a plot to bring Taylor into the ultimate power, because part of the reason why Taylor became so strong politically, socially, and just in terms of character is because of Endbringer fights, which they can't plot around. How long do you think the first flame would burn if Scion was used as fuel? Well, the main component there is that the first flame doesn't burn based on mass, it burns based on soul, which is why a undead who was sent around the entirety of Lordran, collecting massive amounts of soul as he went, was a great kindling for the bonfire.
Was kindling pretty close to the level of Gwyn.
Yes. Maybe I'll write a crossover fic for shits and giggles. Nah, don't bother. I'm tempted to read whatever Taylor's story is about, but given what you say of Wild Bow, I'll pass. So Worm has an issue that it's 10 books long, 10 plus books long. I think the total was like 14 arcs, so technically like 14 books.
I think splitting it into like assuming 70 to 100,000 words each, it's like 20 average novels, 24.
Something around that, yeah. Wild Bow has stated previously that the Endbringers could blow up the solar system, and that's how hard they were jobbing, which he's just being self-masturbatory. Yes, yeah, he got demolished on the thread. Yeah.
That's could beat the Justice League. I'm sorry, sir, but unfortunately, you're going against the greatest power wink of all time, Superman. Good luck with that.
Yeah, which some of his stuff is actually useful, like how would shards react to magic, and I actually liked his answer on this one, in that shards wouldn't know how to react to magic at first because it's something they've never seen before, as they operate purely on high level physics, according to him. And so at first they would be completely incapable of reacting to it in terms of defending it, attacking it, and predicting it. But over time and through excessive usage of magic, they would become better at predicting each part of being used. So if you used Fireball a lot, they would become better at defending and predicting Fireball. But if you then just suddenly pull Lightning Bolt out of your ass, they would just be like, oh, fuck, here we go again.
What do I do with this?
Worm was not 2.4 million words long, was it? No, it was like 1. It was like 1.2 or something.
I don't fucking care.
Yeah. Some of Wildbow's answers are nice. Some of Wildbow's answers are just like, what the fuck are you on? Yeah, it's definitely not 2.4. Maybe considering Ward into that is 2.4, but I don't consider Ward canon either. I am defiantly declaring Death of Author past Worm, because Ward and Glowworm are just absolute garbage. Everyone's shards turns into stands, and you have to battle in the Shadow Realm, and then you go into shard space and fight the other shard once you beat the cape. It's so fucking stupid.
Glory
No longer
goals.
death,
The
the
fuck?
author, death to the author.
Yeah,
To be honest, that sounds like something that should be way better than what you just described.
Also, Glory Girl's shard is 3 women fused together into an abomination.
I mean, that makes sense.
How does
mean, if
that
it's-
make sense?
Well,
She's an abomination.
I was gonna talk. I want
What?
to point out, Panasha did go in there and fuck around with some stuff she probably shouldn't have.
Okay, but why is the shard a 3-bodied woman?
Because she can also affect the shards, can't she?
The shard is literally a life mass the size of a small moon. Why is its soul form a 3-bodied woman?
And so you have a summon that's 2 women that turn into a motorcycle for you to ride.
That's Final Fantasy. It has no relevance. That is from 13, and you fucking know it.
I'm actually trying to figure it out now. She has flight. She has a force field. She has super strength. Her powers don't even properly match up.
No.
Like,
Supposedly, according to the new Ward lore, Glory
Oh,
Girl's
Jesus.
shard is what it is because it's the cast-off remnants of 3 different shards merged together into a, quote, fragile abomination, and all of the shards shit on it and bully it in shard chat. I'm
Well,
not
that's-
even making this up.
Shard chat.
One
Shard
of the
chat.
best-
All the shards have basically
Wait,
an
hang on,
interconnection
I'm
to each other, and they all just talk to each other all the time. And they all
Okay,
bully
that-
the abomination.
Listen, I don't care. That's fine, whatever. But she has literally one of the most useful power sets.
Yeah, but she's
Yeah,
an abomination because reasons.
But
So can I get an invite to the Shard Discord server?
Okay,
Thanks.
no, I'm sorry. For what are supposed to be essentially AI, which means they put logic and efficiency above all else.
Yes.
This is an
Oh,
amazing
oh,
utility
oh,
set of
oh no!
powers.
Apparently,
Why would they be shitting on it?
post Scion dying, all the shards adopted the personality of their hosts and became stands. I am not making this up.
Here's the thing, right? That
Okay.
could be cool.
Hang on. I want a proviso. I want a trade-off for this.
Uh-huh.
once this generation of heroes starts dying, the shards are no longer able to connect because Scion is gone, because the magic space whale that was connecting some of them are gone.
No, they just have a shard space where they all are next to each other and talking. They exist in a separate dimension. It's not even like, because previously in Worm, all the shards existed in the variations of Earth where humanity didn't exist anymore, and they all existed in separate dimensions. But now it's in Ward. They don't exist in separate dimensions anymore. They all exist in the same dimension that doesn't have a universe in it called Shard Space, where all the shards fight when the capes fight. And then when the cape beats the other cape, they can go into Shard Space to help their shard fight the other shard.
Isley, how is the flight from the force field? She was able to keep flying when the force field was disabled.
Yes, yes, that's also a new Ward canon, is that the flight is connected to the force field because
Why?
it demasses her or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I usually
Yeah.
I'm a lot more lenient with original works than fan fiction because it's supposed to be original.
Oh,
But
another
still-
thing about
modicum of something in terms of
it's funny you mentioned that, Max, because actually Wildbow has said that he was heavily inspired when writing Ward by several popular Worm fan fictions.
oh no.
The worst kind of inspiration.
Oh.
It's a full circle of stupidity.
It's painful. It is painful. Other shit like Glowworm introduced the fact that you can be forced to become gay.
Wait, what the hell is Glowworm?
Glowworm was the interlude story between stories. Yeah. And it was entirely 4chan chat, basically.
Nice.
And it was like 16 chapters of just image board posting explaining the universe for some
Speaking
fucking
of which,
reason.
when the hell am I gonna get my TAM update to All Guardsman Party? He said there would be a tracker, and there's no tracker.
Yeah, in Glowworm, he retconned group triggers to forcefully change your sexuality so you're attracted to whoever you group triggered with, regardless of your original sexuality.
But so then the question is it like Yennefer, Vengerberg, and Geralt, where it's like, I really want this one person?
It also apparently group triggers. They do the as he calls it, the kiss or kill. Either you want to violently murder the person, or you want to fuck them so hard that you become joined at the hip and become the next human centipede. And apparently
Why are those my options?
And as each group trigger person dies, the remaining group trigger people become stronger. Because that
Like in
makes
terms of
sense.
powers?
Yes,
Or
in terms of
okay.
powers.
I mean, there's not another option. Just put a gun in your mouth and click.
Yeah. And it's just like, what the actual fuck?
Elbow, I'm gonna have to ask you to put the cocaine down.
It was so pointless because I don't think he's even done anything with it, as far as I heard. Like, group triggers basically have been forgotten in Ward, as far as I've heard. I haven't heard anything about group triggers in Ward. So it was just literally just out of fucking nowhere, group triggers turn you gay now, and then just never talked about it again, like J.K. Rowling style.
I mean, yeah, that would actually mean that he would have to include representation. No, fuck
I
that
know,
shit.
I know, right?
Fuck the gays, except not that way.
But anyway, so Taylor takes control of everyone's soul somehow and turns it into one giant first flame. And because that's not supposed to happen, it literally yeeted reality. And two flickering souls touched in the dark light of the other. Two flickering souls touched in the dark light of that flame, alike in their purpose, the obsession of Manus and the soul of the young fallen sovereign. And then they
Just move
merged
on,
together,
please.
becoming whole, and then the abyss yeeted them. And this is the story of a tragic figure, a frail...
This is the story of a girl?
who cried a river and literally drowned the whole world!
It's been an hour and 50 minutes. We have barely got past the fucking intro narration.
I'm okay
yeah,
with
we're
this.
gonna move
Garbage,
on.
and we're trying not to think about it.
Yes.
We haven't hit halfway.
I mean, to be fair, this is like a literal 1,000 word prologue. And just reminder people, you can ask me questions at any time, and I will just go off on a tangent that is not related to this. So think of a good question, and I'll stop talking about this.
I'm gonna go shoot some zombies. I don't fucking care anymore.
You do that. This is a story of a tragic figure, a frail woman who had been broken many times before, yet always forged herself anew. She sought adversity and became strong for it. A true sovereign.
She did not seek adversity.
No, she didn't seek adversity. Oh my god. And I just think that whole thing's just so fucking stupid. It's this... I don't know if it originated from this, but it became very prevalent, I noticed, in comics. This actually happened in Ironheart, which is the Iron Man female black girl reboot, where she
Why?
literally demands that the teacher tell her that she can't become a superhero because she's a black girl. Like, she demands the teacher tell her that she can't do it. And the teacher's just like, no, I believe in you, you can do it. She's like, no, you were supposed to tell me I can't. That way I can overcome adversity. And like, that is the most toxic mindset I have ever heard. I need to seek out adversity so I can overcome it.
Yeah. That's just a fucking terrible idea.
I mean, there is such a thing as seeking to challenge yourself to grow stronger as a person, sure, but
Well, no, so there's a difference though, where it's like, if you're a rock climber, for example, and you're like, all right, to start off with, I'm gonna climb in the gym, you know, that practice rock wall, and you're like, okay, I've climbed the rock wall in the gym. Now I'm gonna go to a rock wall place, and I'm gonna climb the tallest one there. That's challenging yourself. That's not seeking adversity. Seeking adversity is like going around in the gym and going to every person going, hey, do you think I can climb that wall? And if they say no, they're like, yeah, fuck you. I'm going to go climb that wall and prove you wrong. That's seeking adversity. There's a massive difference between the two. One is you're trying to improve yourself. The other is you purposely going around and attempting to make yourself feel better by proving people wrong who might not have had an opinion on what you're doing in the first place until you shoved it in their face. Humans do well when faced with challenges. I mean, yes. But, again, reiterate, there's a difference between adversity and challenging. And seeking adversity and creating challenges. Anyway, so let's. Oh boy, here comes the super deep prose. Are you guys ready for this? A soft, pale form took shape before the bonfire, dancing between the flames before solidifying. A young woman came into focus, tall and slender, her features peaceful in the absence of a waking mind. She was naked, of course, born anew from the flame, curled as a babe within the embers. How curious. A little moth drawn to the flame. Oh, how your wings will burn, little moth. But I will comfort you. It is my purpose to all who would have me. Who is even talking here? Bearer of a terrible fate, seek the fields of battle where you are destined and forever called to. Seek greater hardship, for your trials give rise to sorely needed strength. Why greater hardship? Just seek challenges. Like, why? I have so many issues with this phrasing. Lest you succumb to the abyss within you. So be an overly aggressive cunt unless you become a overly aggressive cunt.
Yes.
Because keep in mind that the author just spent several hundred words setting up that the abyss makes you super evil and an absolute dick. So this person's advice is to go out, pick fights, and kill people, lest you become overcome by your evil, causing you to go out, pick fights, and kill people.
We should do that.
Seems legit.
That's like Germany saying we need to initiate a totalitarian fascist government to prevent the fascists from taking power.
And what are they doing?
Isn't
right
that how you
now?
keep the fascists from taking power? By becoming so fascist that they can't get into power?
According to Germany.
Hmm.
What? Speaking of which, the No Pixels for Fascists, that program that EA is currently promoting,
Fucking retarded shit. Holy fuck.
is being led by an ex-Stasi captain.
I mean, one could argue that prior experience is an excellent thing.
Yes,
Well, yes,
one could
but I mean,
argue that.
fuck
One
me.
could also argue the merits of crucifying them.
I'd rather argue that, honestly.
I will remain
much
by
better
your
story.
side till this frail hope shatters. What frail hope?
Please stop butchering the maiden. Or the herald, I mean.
Oh, is that the Herald?
Yeah, it's supposed to be the herald.
Oh.
Who else could it be? It's supposed to be the Emerald Herald.
Oh, you're right. A new prophecy thus spoken. The Emerald Herald detached her cloak and wrapped it around the newborn. Imagine being such a badass. You somehow ignite every human soul in existence and feed it into a giant bonfire and delete reality, only to be isekai'd into Dark Souls 2. How much of a fucking disappointment is that?
Yeah. Pretty big one, honestly.
Uh,
I'd imagine.
I wish Max was still here.
No, I'm still here.
Yeah,
Oh,
Max doesn't
yes,
know.
thank you, Gray, for posting the stand
You're
for
welcome.
Glory Girl.
Max.exe has suffered a fatal error.
Yes.
Really? First of all, what is that garbage tier art?
Yeah, yes. Also, yes, it is yeah.
Probably fan art.
No, it's apparently according to Wildbow, it's official art. It might have been fan art at first, but it's now official art.
Hmm.
Must be why it's so fucking bad.
Once again, this just reminds me, when Final Fantasy decides to do an abomination, they do a proper abomination, as I showed Max yesterday.
I fucking hate it so much. Every time I look at it, I am filled with spite.
And let's be clear, I don't hate it because it's an abomination. I hate it because the art itself is an abomination.
Pretty much. Yeah, honestly, the only way that art could be worse if it was done during Cal art. Cal art style.
It was made by a DeviantArt person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
There's occasionally been good art to come out of DeviantArt.
Quite a lot of good art come out of DeviantArt. Cough, cough, all of my art. Cough, cough.
Yep.
DeviantArt is a great place to go and say, boy, I really like X person's style. It's a shame they only do porn.
I mean, that's the good
Yep.
part.
Yes, indeed. Let's see. Let's get a good reaction. Picture here. Ah, yes. This is actually a justified one here. I believe that is a accurate response from some of the people here.
The person who made it deleted it from their account.
I am not surprised
Oh,
in the fucking slightest.
your
Good
official art deleted themselves because they're like, I am ashamed.
I regret posting this. What was I searching for originally? Oh well,
Reaction image.
I actually forgot.
Key to the city?
No, we were saying something, and I was like, "Oh, I have a picture for this," and then I forgot what I was.
Oh, yes.
Oh well. We'll just have to live with the disappointment. Excuse me, you have violated the NAP by posting this picture. Oh,
Several
right,
ways to violate the NAP.
I was gonna post Valkyrie art. That's what I was gonna do. Let's see, Valkyrie art. There we go. The most wholesome fucking picture I have ever received. Let's see, where are you? Will that fit? Yes, it fits the it fits the size requirements.
It still looks like the beginning of some anime about a small child who unintentionally murdered a village.
I mean,
Mm,
that is her backstory, so
I am aware.
I am ellipses. Eyes blearily opened, and for a time it went unnoticed that they were my eyes. Ah, yes. I too forget sometimes that I have eyes. Another moment was spent understanding the concept of me. Things that are can have eyes, I reasoned. So I can
What is this 4th grade level?
Philosophy, armchair philosophy 101. Holy shit, this is like nose hair tier. I reasoned, so I can have eyes because I am, but how am I? Before the being that was me was another being who was not me.
Has anyone ever been as far as to have to like become?
This was not something I could understand, but I thought on it, and thinking was a thing that people who are things that can or do. Was it not?
See,
Oh
it's
my
observational skills.
God, please.
I can
stop
be yet
butchering philosophy 101.
I can be yet so can others, I reasoned. I am not all that there is. I mean, you don't know that. You could be a brain in a fucking jar for all you know.
Hey, come on now. Don't be insulting to brains in jars. Some of them are much smarter than that. Like the ones in, I almost said Black Mesa. What was the Fallout expansion? New Vegas.
New
Oh,
Vegas?
Big Empty.
Big Empty. Look, I was getting my ridiculous, stupid scientists confused, okay?
See, I thought you were talking about the Futurama Hall of Heads.
No.
This reminds me of the sudden whale in Hitchhiker's Guide, except the whale went splat, so it's automatically better than this. Yep. Thinking was, for some reason, this comforted me. How lonely it would be to be all that there is. The concept of loneliness was something I understood.
If I was all that there was, that would be fantastic.
My, a new soul are you? Such a thing has not been seen since the first flame.
What?
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 Okay. Was? Entschuldigung, was sagen Sie zu mir?
Ah!
Yes, yes.
This is nicht halal. This is haram.
Okay. You know what? No shot glass.
Bottoms up.
Mm. Woo! 90%. Okay.
You're right there. You
90%.
having a bit of a day there, boyo?
Are you drinking 90% alcohol?
I am.
That's just poison. Or should
Fuck
not kill me
you.
90 proof?
90 proof. I can count
You're
numbers.
not wrong.
That's 45%, not 90%. A big fucking difference.
But you see, I have yet to drink paint thinner.
I mean, why not try it?
I'll bring out
Maybe
the
an
paint
interesting
thinner
taste.
again. I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll bring
You're
out the
alcoholic.
paint thinner again. Boy, I will.
You know what? I kind of want to have a character in a story now. Constantly drink from a turpentine bottle. And people are finally just like, okay, are you using that to store your alcohol because you don't think anyone would ever drink from it? It's like, no, this is just turpentine.
Yeah. More or less.
My parents had me drinking since I was, I don't know, 5. They said it kept me quiet. So this is what I need to get a buzz now.
I mean, that's what happened with my little brother. He was always crying, and so my father was like, well, you know, my dad did this to me, and it shut me up. And so he takes a little bit of scotch and puts it on my little brother's lips, and my little brother starts licking it, and then crying for more. And my dad's like, well, that didn't fucking work.
Well, now that I've created a small alcoholic.
A new soul, such a thing as that. No, I think not. You are but fractured pieces of more than a single soul and have lost much of yourself. Perhaps I can offer comfort to the wounds of your soul. The other being could communicate, it could speak. That means I can also speak.
No. Okay. I know it's still technically part of like another human being, but those are awful coherent for something that's been out of it.
Yeah. I just, oh god, I fucking hate armchair psychology. Oh my. As someone who's actually taken psychology classes, I hate armchair psychologists. I also hate psychology in general. I think it's an absolute bunk in its field of study.
Well, yeah.
Hello, the word came to me through a distant fog, implying that they speak the same language. Fucking Christ. The woman smiled down at me, and it was warm and beautiful. Greetings, little moth. Not entirely lost, are you? But what a marvelous soul you must have to survive a sundering. What a mystery you are. Her voice was soothing. It danced in my head. Blah, blah, blah. Soul is frail. Blah, blah, blah. Fucking retardation. Blah, blah. Who am I? Blah, blah, blah. Oh my god. I caused so much misery and pain. I was a terrible person. Oh god, I'm evil. And yet you exist, little moth. No innocent soul would be so terribly broken as you are.
Where? Self-moralizing. Where?
Where? My name is Saddam Hussein. Where? I'm a bad person.
Blah blah blah. Rise beyond pity, and you have strength. Denial cannot spare me pain. I am a wretched being, but I can be more than wretched. Who am I? Blah blah blah. And then she has memory flashbacks of being Taylor, and she's like, ah yes, being Taylor is clearly a superior existence to being Manus. So I am Taylor.
You know, I'm pretty sure Manus would be a superior existence because Manus just wanted to find a locket.
With such tenacity, I can only feel pity for anyone who stands in your way. Very well, young fighter. That is your name.
What? Tenacity?
No, Taylor.
Oh.
I've had my mind on this for a while now. I wanted to take a creative break from Crucible, and this seemed like a good time. I won't be focusing on this story at all until I complete Crucible, but once I do finish that story, I'll return to this, or maybe I'll put Vista into Dragon's Dogma.
I would like for this author to
Everything
make
you've said
self-harm.
is
I-
stupid.
I hate everything that this author has said. Let's actually check out what Crucible is, because it can't be possibly worse than this.
I would say, what's the meme? Amazing. Everything you said is wrong.
Crucible. Oh god. Oh god. Crucible. Taylor is the daughter of the recently deceased crime lord Marquise,
No.
and the inheritor of his empire. And she and her sister fill the role as rulers of Brockton Bay. Alt Power Taylor.
That is too good.
Jesus. Right, what's your favorite story? Iron. Of course it's Iron. Oh my fucking god, of course it's Iron. The one story that he's favorited is obviously, of course, Iron.
What is iron?
Iron was the Berserk crossover with Worm, in which Taylor gets Guts' final outfit, the Berserk suit, and the Berserk suit's possessed by Guts' soul, and she rips lockers off and hammers them into a sword with her fist.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
that thing.
That piece of
That-
garbage.
Huh.
I mean, the author's name is
Oh.
accurate. Just baked the author.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah, Baked
dude
the
has to
author.
die.
I have so many problems with so many of his fics.
Okay, I'm
Um,
more fucking referring to the fact that he was
Deliverance
probably
is
fucking high as shit.
garbage. Iron's garbage. Oh, you know, actually, I never actually read Deliverance.
I mean, it's still garbage.
It could be good actually. Post Golden
No.
Morning, Kepri 1, exiled to Skyrim, starts her own business. Why are bugs
Listen to
calling her
yourself,
queen?
Sneaky.
It could be good.
Listen to the words you're saying.
I,
How
you
the
know,
fuck could that
no.
ever
See,
be
the
good?
problem is they write. Baked the author writes Babel, and Babel is a great story. But it's just like, then you look at all the other shit they write, and it's just like, how? How do you write a story like Babel and then completely just they spent all of their creative talent on Babel? That's the
little
only
they had.
conclusion I can come to.
Oh god. They have a Gundam Worm cross down there.
hmm
Oh boy.
Like this garbage here. In Your Heart Shall Burn, a story where Taylor ends up as a proto-Endbringer in the Fade as Queen Administrator, and the Inquisitor smiles too much. Cole asks Viviana about the meaning of flowers, and Cassandra needs aspirin. Not a serious story. It's supposed to be a humor story.
Regrettably, I gathered as much.
Interface is garbage. Hunger's garbage. Where she like this shit. We've actually covered several of his fics on this podcast. Hunger. Taylor dies in a locker, and she isn't happy about that. But at least she can try to be a hero when she's not indulging in tasty snacks. Zombie Taylor harem.
What? Just hear you fucking say?
Yes, Zombie Taylor harem.
I'm gonna have to ask you to shut the fuck up.
I need you to.
There's
Okay, you know how there are monks that are like so dedicated to a vow of silence they like sew their lips shut? I need you to do that.
Unfortunately, I have a mouth, so I must speak. And then there's Night, of course, It's not easy being a hypersensitive dark elf in an apocalyptic wasteland, but by golly, I'll do my best to bring light to this dying world. All I have to do is kill the Triad, defeat the Archdemon, and end It That Sleeps while staying a virgin. Worm
What?
AU.
No.
What part of that is Worm? That is Dragon Age, Fallout, Lovecraft,
Hey,
and I don't know what the Triad's from. But I don't care either.
Can you read James Stormcaller and the Walnut Court?
Oh, what the fuck is this? This is a
Right
Harry
in the middle of the
Potter
page.
story. James Stormcaller and the Walnut Court. Abandoned
Just
by
sound
his
so fucking
uncle
retarded.
after a magical accident, a more inquisitive and adventurous Harry sets out to learn about magic of nature in the Forest of Dean. Along the way, he meets spirits, creatures, fairies, and learns about the hidden world. AU Shaman Harry. Fox Fairies, Ghost Songs, Treehouse Lady. Vera. What? 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 What the
Just
fuck?
fucking read it, dude. Yeah, I had the same reaction when I just read that internally. And I wish I hadn't, to be honest.
Rise of the Triad, maybe? I don't know, man. I just... Like, Baked writes so many cringy fucking stories, except they write Babel, and it's just like, how? How have you managed to write Babel, but also managed to write all this other absolute garbage?
Well, it's quite simple.
You see,
They had
all
enough
their
talent
good
for
ideas
one
went into
thing.
Babel, like you surmised.
Probably, yeah. Let's see what else.
It's like, you know, with the RAM on your computer.
Oh,
One
yeah.
task takes up everything. And then suddenly, whoops, you're
So you're
fucked.
saying Babel is his Chrome?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh yes, more RAM. Thank you very much.
Let's see. Let's, you know what? Actually, we can probably end the night with just a normal question instead of, continuing to, delve the depths of fic. So, anyone got a good, ponderment for us here?
Why am I alive?
I unfortunately cannot answer that question as per my legal,
Well, the short answer is your parents needed someone to make suffer.
that too. Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes. Yes. That is where my profile picture comes from. Yeah, so, you got any good questions for us? Doesn't have to be about writing, technically.
Oh, the fun facts in SDM, Moth.
Oh, how do I make words good? Well, step
Just-
1 is drink copious amounts of alcohol.
Yeah.
So step 2 is...
Step 2, call
can't-
Sneaky at 2 o'clock in the morning. I
As-
can give you his personal line.
And then,
Yeah,
send me a lot of
simple.
money while you do it. Otherwise, I'll just hang up.
You might still hang up anyway.
See, step 1 of the phone call needs to be you opening with a text message of, I've sent $30 to your PayPal account.
More or less.
Kiln just hit me in the stomach. That's not fair.
Oh, what did Kilm do?
Read what he just posted under you putting up the artwork that we got.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not.
Yes, this is Abandoned Fix Central. Fuck you, girl. I'm gonna drink a bunch, and then we're gonna go right, Cruel, because we need to get more of this Skyrim shit post out.
You're contractually obligated to play Race Wars with Nose.
I'm actually not. I never even agreed to doing Race Wars with Nose.
He never actually answered, in fact.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it didn't.
A big brain. Alright.
How to avoid commitments. Just don't, Lemon.
Alright, let's spin the wheel of topics we can talk about here. Let's see, no good animes have come out recently. Oh, right! Actually, we do have something we can talk about here that's relevant to both writing and just general politics and writing as well.
Oh boy.
So, recently, Naruto, from the series Naruto, has been
Okay.
accused of being a privileged white male.
Oh, yes.
He is
Japanese
the
character.
opposite of that.
I am aware.
I do enjoy it when my Japanese characters are all privileged white people.
Say,
Interesting.
first of all, just a problem with their core conceit. If they're allowed to claim that everyone in Full Metal Alchemist is in fact Asian,
Wait, who claimed what? When?
remember that everybody was like, oh, they aren't casting anyone even remotely German for Full Metal
Oh,
Alchemist,
Yeah, and it looked fucking
and they were like, that's
awful.
because they're all Asian.
Yeah.
To which my response is, that's fine. You can't then say Naruto is white.
But I mean,
I mean, you
the
can, you're
thing
just wrong.
is that while we all know that Naruto is blatantly not privileged, being the fact that he is a orphan, an outcast of his village, and he has the soul of the greatest chakra creature to exist on that world shoved inside him, and that if he ever loses control of his emotions, he is liable to kill everyone around him, because that's not a burden.
Nah. that's just
Boruto
everything.
is the privileged male. His dad's the
Oh.
Hokage. His mom,
His
Stacy's
mom is
mom,
some kind
has
of
got it going on.
not. I was gonna say some kind of secret super bloodline
Yeah,
that gives awesome powers.
derived from the moon or some shit. Yeah. And he's basically given the best training. He's super popular. His dad's the Hokage. He's got amazing genetics. He's got all the friends. And pretty much everything in Boruto that happens up to a certain point is literally Boruto's fault because he's just a whiny little bitch. And yeah. Boruto is just the worst kind of character.
I mean,
Yeah,
blood,
Boruto's not
so-
a great character. Not with his initial introduction, at least.
Well, and the worst thing is, Naruto is the example of someone who literally worked to get what he wanted. Did he have help
Yep.
along the way? Of course he did.
Well, no, not exactly. A big part of the Naruto's thing was like you can always fight destiny and all that. Destiny's not real. Unfortunately, Kishimoto threw that out when he was told you got to wrap this up in 2 months, and we got the whole reincarnation of the Sage's kids, which gave him ass loads of power for free and no training involved whatsoever. So
Hmm.
he did work his ass off initially, and then he just kind of stumbled into Destiny's lottery.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we didn't get to see Kishimoto's themes come full circle. Isn't Boruto the exact opposite of Naruto? Effectively, yes. He's loved by the village. He has both parents. He never wants for anything. He
certainly doesn't get the shits from drinking expired milk
yeah.
because
he's
he
a
has
prodigy.
literally no other option.
He's a prodigy. He's great at everything. He's got a bunch of friends.
By the way, I do want to take a minute to revisit how fucked up that scene is, where everybody makes fun of him because he drinks the expired milk because he's too poor.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about privileged characters, Sakura and Sasuke are good ones to start with.
So much Sasuke.
Well, I mean, also Sakura, because she effectively
Sakura, yes. Sasuke, everyone he knows died.
Okay, well, but
Oh,
he
yeah, but the
still
problem
he
is
still came
that-
from an exceedingly rich family with a genetic history of gaining an absurdly powerful power that basically makes him the gold egg laying goose of the world.
Yeah. And, the third Hokage didn't turn his back on Sasuke like he did Naruto after promising the fourth Hokage, I'll take care of your kid, and then just
And then just
throwing him out in
fucking
the
not.
wild.
And
Just threw him out in the wild for some reason instead of...
also, like, shrug shoulders, it's the politics or some shit like that was the.
No, I don't think it's ever explained why he doesn't just like Naruto. You're living with me. This is your new cousin, Konohamaru. Take care of him. Like,
That's what ends up happening anyway.
Basically.
if Sarutobi actually meant even half of what he told Minato, Asuma would have had another little brother that he'd have been taken care of.
More or less.
I don't think there was ever a reason listed, and quite frankly, I feel like Danzo would have been like, if you won't take the kid, I will. One of us has to train this kid. He's our most valuable asset now.
The other thing is that Sarutobi, I believe,
He's our most valuable asset, right?
I-
Ignore the fact that he's the Jinchuriki. He's the offspring of our two most valuable assets.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is that as far as I'm aware, I don't know if this is fanon or not, but Sarutobi was talking about letting Naruto have a childhood or some shit.
I believe that was part of the stupidity, yes.
I don't remember
Oh,
anything
yeah, the
about
fucking
that.
good old Dumbledore defense.
If that's
It's fine,
canon,
too.
I probably threw that out of my brain because that's such a stupid fucking reason for letting this kid
Well,
live.
I mean, not only that. I mean, not only is he the kid of Minato and Kushina, not only is he the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, not only is he one of the last living Uzumaki and Senju, not only all of that, but like you're a fucking
So,
military
with the
dictator
power
of a
white
military
privilege.
mercenary village. You use child soldiers on a daily basis, and you only stopped children from entering into the fighting force early after Itachi slaughtered his whole clan. Not after Kakashi, after Itachi. It only took a genocide for you to go, okay, maybe child soldiers shouldn't be promoted out of the academy at age 7.
Nah.
What did Kakashi do that would have caused them to reevaluate that?
He was a jonin by like age 9.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
that-
but
that's
he
just
didn't
fine.
kill
It's
anyone.
self-valid.
Let me rephrase
He
this.
graduated at
He didn't
5.
kill
no,
people.
my point though, Atin, is that Kakashi was a jonin by like age 9, and Sarutobi had no problem with Kakashi losing his childhood. But when it came to Naruto, he's like, nah, this weapon that's going to be even stronger than any ninja to ever exist, gotta have a childhood. We gotta let him have a childhood.
Well, Kakashi was also learning his trade in the middle of a war, and
Well,
that would
Yes.
Something.
different circumstances is part of the
But
issue.
when you are a military dictator of a military village and there's like 8 other military dictators of military villages, you're basically in an eternal Cold War.
Okay,
Yeah,
there's a difference
and
between
hot
a Cold
war
War and an
occasionally.
active war.
Yes, there is.
Kakashi grew up in the middle of an active war.
True, except
Kakashi was Chunin at 6, Jonin at 12.
okay, thank you, Gray. But still, my point still stands is that even if it was an active war, you only go, we don't need child soldiers now, because keep in mind the whole Itachi thing didn't make them change it. They only changed it after the Uchiha massacre.
I think part of the problem with your argument here is that this is one of those things that Kishimoto did not think about.
No, he did not think about it at all. But that's still my point though. It just
And
doesn't make
well,
any fucking.
there's also the thing that the academy was something that was a fairly recent addition that would also allow civilians to try and make more money, try their luck, so to speak,
Right.
without them dying on a battlefield.
Right.
There's a lot of not even just straight up implication. They show quite heavily the Uchiha. It doesn't matter if the Hokage is like, "Hey guys, there's an academy for them now, and we've raised the graduation age." The clans are going to train their kids no matter what,
Yes.
even if the Hokage said no.
Right.
And Kakashi was very clearly raised in private by his dad, ahead of everyone else.
Likely. Yeah.
Because
Or he trained alone. Oh, we don't. I think it was training alone.
yeah, well, he's also one of the few ninja we see that actually has a really good relationship with his father.
Yes.
So
I actually really liked that whole Kakashi death scene where he like sits at a campfire with his dad.
oh yeah,
That was actually really good.
that was pretty well done. Getting the flashbacks to Guy's youth and Kakashi's youth was always fun. That was a great scene though of Kakashi being like, "Oh, that's just Guy. He won't be anything." And that's like, you need to look at his hands and feet, kid. He's fucked. He's gonna be better than you one day if you're not careful.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, there's so much in Naruto that just makes him. But yeah, as far as privileged, Naruto was not. Yeah, was he
I know.
male? Yes, he was in fact male.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
I'm not exactly sure you can say being male was a privilege in the Naruto world, though.
Bro, what do you mean? They have a penis. That's everything you need for male privilege.
I mean, I want to point out the Naruto world seemed pretty equal opportunity.
Very equal
Yeah.
opportunity in the murder. Yes.
Not even that, just in terms of like ninja positions. Like
Well,
They-
yeah, when Might
didn't
makes right,
care.
everyone
They
can
really
step up.
didn't care. If you could fight, fucking come on up. We'll give you
Yeah.
a kunai.
Pretty much, yes. Yeah. I mean, they let Sakura be a fucking ninja. Jesus Christ, she should have gone back to the kitchen.
She was from a civilian family too, so she had literally no training going into that academy.
To be fair, she eventually learned how to be a medic, which is probably what kept her from going back.
Yeah. I
Her
also
only skill was her control.
I also do love that during the final battle with Kaguya, it was just Sasuke and Naruto kicking the shit out of Kaguya, and then it's like right at the last second, Sakura's like, "I'm here too, punch."
The
Sakura,
punch did nothing.
Sakura was playing proper support. She was looking for the moment where the big bad would fuck up and she could get that one strike in.
Yeah, indeed.
Because Kaguya was going to escape if Sakura hadn't come in and just domed her at the last second.
So what I'm hearing is Lion kill secured with the finger, and it was the right move.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That was
remember
animated
seeing
Shadow.
Sakura turn
believe it or
ninja.
not, Shadow. That was from the Road to Ninja
Yeah,
movie.
that was Road to Ninja, where everything was reversed.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh yeah. So in the Road to Ninja, wait, was it Road to Ninja?
It was Road to Ninja. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one where. So, Atten, you've heard of the Infinite Tsukiyomi, you know, it's the big bad's plan.
Yeah.
You know,
That's...
we'll put the
big
world
thing.
in a massive genjutsu. So
Yes, I will create peace by making everyone nap.
So Obito, big brains, and is like, I'm gonna test this on one of the 4 major threats to my plan. And he fucks up the jutsu so hard, he turns it into a time-space jutsu and yeets Naruto and Sakura to a completely parallel reality. And he deems it a failure, by the way, at the end of all this.
A parallel
Well-
reality where Sakura's father was basically the Minato equivalent, and Sakura was the tailed beast container.
No, Sakura wasn't the tailed beast. She never
Oh,
became the
right,
container.
right.
Naruto and Kushina remained the containers.
Yeah, right.
But
There goes brain.
I still love that at the end of that movie he's just like, yeah, no,
Never
this is
mind.
clearly a failure. It's like
Also, Hinata was apparently a dominatrix or some shit.
She was a delinquent.
Whatever.
She was an aggressive delinquent.
How is eating someone from your universe a failure?
Well,
Because
to be fair, when the goal is put them to sleep forever, right? It's like I will put them to sleep forever.
because
You
it wasn't
send them
a
to
it wasn't a
different
complete
time and
yeet.
space.
The reason why it was a failure is because it was a swap. So Sakura from that world ended up in Naruto canon.
Yeah. She was there for a total of 4 episodes, I want to say. And of course, Naruto wasn't swapped in because
He was Menma. Which,
reasons.
if case you're ever curious as to why a character named Menma shows up in a Naruto story, it's because of that movie. And basically, it's edgy Naruto who somehow manages to take control of all nine-tailed beasts and tries to end the world Toby style.
I don't even remember if that was part of the plot. I'm just gonna nod
That was
along.
that was part of the plot.
It's kind of cringe, bro. Not gonna
It,
lie.
it was cringe.
Just go even further. When the anime was stuck in the Eternal Tsukuyomi arc, Tintin's mind got yeeted to that version of reality, and Menmo remembered everything that happened as well. And it's just like, oh my god, why are we going back here?
I do appreciate that Kishimoto did come out and say every Naruto movie is non-canon except this last Naruto movie, which I'm calling Naruto the Last Movie.
The last Naruto the movie, I think is what it was called.
Something like that, but yeah, it was like everything else is uncanon except for this one, which I'm calling the last one.
Did he legit say that?
Yes, no, he did in an interview. He said all movies are not considered canon except for Naruto the Last, which is supposed to be the sequel / prequel to Boruto.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much because then you got shit where it's like, wait, which Dragon Ball movies are canon? Maybe?
Yes.
Well, you see, that one, this one over here, that one, part of it's canon, and this one just has Raditz, so it's canon.
I think the general consensus is, did Toriyama write it? If yes, it's probably canon. If no, it's somewhere in the rafters with GT.
But anyway, we have passed the 9 o'clock mark, which means it is time to say goodbye. And thank you all for showing up, because of course Twitch does not want this podcast to succeed. In fact, according to some of the private messages I get, other people don't want this podcast to succeed either, because it's a unfair targeting and harassment. To which I say, of course,
Yes.
you're welcome.
Oh, did we get new hate mail?
No, I'm just mentioning
new hate
old hate mail.
I was hoping we got new hate mail.
But yeah. So it's not targeting harassment, because you're always welcome to come on and defend your story if we read it.
No thanks.
Also, there's a disclaimer at the start of just about every single episode now of
There used to be.
don't harass.
Yeah.
So, bases are covered technically.
We stopped doing it because we've said it a million times. You all should know better.
Do we get hate mail? Oh, we get hate mail, yes. I've been told to kill myself. I've been told I should stop doing this podcast because it's unfair harassment. And no shadow, it's even more fair than that. I literally just go to the front page of what just updated on fanfiction.net, and I just pull off everything I see from the front page, and then randomly select it when it comes time to read it. So it's not even like I'm targeting certain authors or certain people or certain fanfics. I'm just like, all right, this one. You can't get any more random than that, honestly.
I mean, Sneaky, you can't just say the things we say to you on the SDM and call that hate mail.
No, I'm talking about actual PMs, and I can't even show the PMs because they all block me after sending me the PM, so I can't respond to them.
Interesting.
This includes Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer on all 7 of his accounts.
Damn, all 7. That's pretty impressive, honestly.
He only blocked me after I, however, pointed out that he was a pedophile.
Of course.
Anyway, ending this garbage show.
Yeah, so anyway, we'll see if Nose Hair is up for playing the race. Or nope, he's going to go play Dota. Alright, I guess we're going to go play Dota instead. Maybe we'll stream that, maybe we won't. All I know is this stream is going to be ending. But be sure to tell people about it, to drag them in, kicking and screaming, and force them to watch this. Because we'll be here next Tuesday at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Listen, you
Eastern
know that
Standard
thing where the
Time.
KGB brainwash people by putting them in a chair and forcing their eyelids open? Just do that.
Yes, indeed. We'll be here 7 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There's fucking Noseless.
Tuesdays
Hello.
and
Literally as
Fridays.
we're closing up.
Because
Fuck
of
you.
course, there's always more. And it always gets worse.